Yeah.
That way nobody looks dumb alone.
Yeah, that's right. Let's put us to
Thank
shame
collectively.
Yeah.
I'm actually writing a Christmas movie called Dumb Alone.
Weirdly, I was thinking that, and then you beat me to it.
It's just me at home.
Setting up traps for nobody.
for yourself in the middle of the night as a sleepwalker.
Somebody's in here. I just saw him in the mirror. Okay. Yes, BeatiDudes. Welcome to another Monday rip-roaring episode of the BeatiDudes. I couldn't be more excited to be here with you in this wonderful February kickoff to February of the BeatiDudes. My name is Jeff Scheffelbein. This show is a podcast for Christian men who are truly trying to grow either in their curiosity and understanding of the faith or to go much deeper and add humor to a world that sometimes forgets that you are called to have joy and laughter as you grow in holiness. I'm here with two of the greatest bro hosts of all time, Nicholas Besner.
What's going on?
Everything. And how about you, Paul Kolker?
What is not happening?
Nothing. So now that we've covered all that, we're right into the show here. This is a show that if you've never experienced us before, and I mean experience, you're not listening, you're not watching, although you should be on YouTube and you should subscribe on every platform. This is a show that you are a part of. And when you're here, you're going to have this pull of levity and this incredible laughter and this incredible...
Living it up.
And you're also going to have...
Lightitude.
Yep. And it's not longitude. It's latitude because we keep it lighter.
We're good at math.
Well, yeah, exactly. We make up all of our own words all the time, so I just thought I'd do a new one.
The whole show is based on that, Paul.
Right?
Authentic fraternity here on the BeatiDudes. Listen, we bring in all these amazing guests. We decided towards the end of season 2 here, we're going to take over Latin America. That's what we're doing.
We conquered Australia twice.
Oi, that's right.
Coming a little bit closer to home.
We also circled part of Oregon, and so mostly that trail.
The trail.
Rome. We managed to rope Rome in.
We did.
Yeah.
And now we just need somebody to take over what I don't even think is just a continent. It's like a continent and a half. Is that right?
Yeah,
all right,
middle America.
I'm going to do my best introduction of a name. Welcome to the show, Jose. I got that right. It has an accent on it in the E there. Jose Manuel De Urquidi. Urquidi. Gosh, I forgot it.
You can do it, Paul.
Urquidi?
Yeah,
Urquidi.
you got it. Urquidi.
You're kidding me that that's what it was the whole time?
Exactly.
Jose, welcome.
Jose Manuel De Urquidi.
You joke, but that's how I sort of teach it to non-Hispanics.
To people like you.
Like you're
Hey,
kidding,
gringo.
sort of like that.
To people with your intelligence. Jose, welcome to the show. How did we first connect? Was it through Cent Ventures?
I think so, yeah. Last year in D.C.
In D.C.,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you, I remember the minute I figured out who you were in real life, I was like, I know this dude from not real life because you have this incredible picture. I get choked up talking about it. This incredible picture of you on LinkedIn or wherever online. And it's the headphones on, the big smile, and you got your Our Lady of Guadalupe shirt where Juan Diego's opening the tilma and it says, and then I saw her face, now I'm a believer. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm like, dude, I like this guy. I like Urquidi.
That's what we try to do. Juan Diego Network, some of the things, like it's one of the things that we do on our patron saint, Juan Diego, and we try to keep him light. And well, Scott
Williams.
Scott loves to do that, so we're a fan of everything they do.
Previous guest on the BeatiDudes.
Catholic concepts.
Yep. Sacrilegious and a longtime sponsor since before we even asked him. We
And
told
of
him he was
course,
a sponsor.
my socks, of course, right now are sacrilegious Holy Spirit socks.
You're wearing the Holy
Yes.
Spirit?
Nice.
Okay, good. I was about to have to reach in there and pull out a different pair for later. We'll get to that, though.
Well, no, those socks work really well in a pair of cleats.
Yes.
It's like the new greatest joke of all time. Hey, you just dropped it on us, Juan Diego Networks. What is Juan Diego Networks? Tell me, like, you got a couple of Juan Diego things going on in your world. What are these?
Well, Juan Diego Network was the first thing, and it's basically we do lots of podcasts that wanna attract Latinos, we experiment a lot with different formats, segments, with different types of styles and different audiences, different types of Spanish, different everything to try to get to Latinos.
Can I say something real quick? There's
course.
so many parallels here. You do
Mhm.
lots of podcasts. We do one podcast a lot of times. You experiment with different styles. We do that on every show. You try different versions of kind of dialect and approach. That's pretty much my whole life. So I feel like we're brothers with you. You are a dude, or how would you call us in Spanish?
I don't think...
Just make something up then. That's what we
No,
do.
if people... Well, I'll say it. I don't know if any Mexicans listen to you. Way. That's what we would say.
Oh,
Way?
It's not like...
hey, way.
Like
Yeah.
my mother doesn't like
You
it when I say that.
It's slang.
It's a slang for dude
Yeah.
in Mexico.
Well, it's just like growing up in America. Your parents really love it when you call them dude.
Oh.
What'd you say, dude?
That's true.
Oh,
That's true.
it's pretty slang. Okay, wait. That's Juan Diego Networks.
Yeah.
And then Juan Diego and Company and Co.
Yeah. Juan Diego Co.
Okay, what's that?
That's the thing that we have that connects Catholic organizations in the U.S. that want to attract Latinos to Christ through whatever they're doing, right? So we work with dioceses. We work with... That's why I have the Detroit. It's not that I'm a fan of the Detroit. I'm less here after having the Rangers, right? But we work with the Archdiocese of Detroit. We work with OSV. We've worked with Ascension Press, etc. Different Catholic organizations that want to connect with half of the church here in the U.S., which are Latinos now, right? So that's what we try to do, and that has different levels: strategy, marketing, a lot of different tactics that
So we can just keep the cameras rolling, but let's just turn this into a business meeting for a second. BeatiDudes needs to reach the Latinos.
Okay.
I guess I should stop this stupid accent. Any other tips?
We could say bienvenidos at
Oh,
the
yeah.
beginning. Of, yeah.
That was a good accent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's good at a lot of stuff.
Don't say that like you're jealous. You're good at a lot of stuff too. What the heck?
Well, my accent is like this $1 million. They're like, Jeff, that's not Spanish.
No, you have one accent that slightly morphs depending on what you're trying to do, and but that's fun. It's funny.
But it's like the polar negative. What is the
Polar opposite?
Yeah, sure.
Again, we make up words too.
Yeah, my accent's the opposite of what I mean for it to be. So, anyways.
Oh, yes. You go to a different side of the world. Yes.
right.
Polar negatives.
Yes. Oh my God.
I can see that.
He's getting to know us real quick.
Yeah, it's scary. Are there really like groups that have no Anglo presence and no Latin American presence, and you come in and you're like, okay, we need to talk about the way you completely run this differently, because it's not just changing it to Spanish language. There's an entire culture behind this, and that even morphs from one part of Latin America
Right.
to another.
Yeah, you nailed it, because Latinos, every election, Americans realize, oh, it's not a monolith, right? Like it's different Latinos from Texas, from California, from Florida, right? From the East Coast, etc. So, yeah, 26 different countries. Of course, a lot of very different traditions, cultures, everything, right? And of course, then you have migrants, first generation, second, third, et cetera, right? Like there's a lot of nuances. So yeah, whenever you say Latino, yes, it means something, right? But you have to go deeper, right? And whenever Catholic organizations that have never tried, or maybe they have done like Google Translate and have their brochure, and yeah, that's what we're doing stuff for Latinos. Well, we have to start first with a strategy and try to understand who they're really trying to serve, right? And well, that's very different what it was 20 years ago, and a lot of things about Latinos in the U.S. Than today, right? So yeah, we have lots of fun there trying to work, and of course it's a long-term thing in a lot of senses. Like sadly, Latinos are also used for like a lot of Catholic organizations have tried stuff, and we couldn't do it, or no, it doesn't work, or Latinos are not really engaged. Yeah, they close shop or they stop doing anything for Latinos, and there's a lot of bad
frustrating.
experiences there. So yeah, we have a lot of fun.
You have important work to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real
Yeah, because
mission.
it's half the church almost here, and if you see all the the majority of those younger than 25, Latinos.
Yeah, well, we haven't given up on our efforts, so I just want you to be clear. We've stuck with it. Thank you.
I thought you were going to speak in Spanish or say something. Like the accent I was expecting for the African accent.
Un poquito that we have done.
Sounded almost Russian for a second there. or no, Austrian. You were turning into Arnold. Un poquito.
I listened. This is not a joke I'm about to tell you. I should play this for y'all in the break. But I listened to an Australian girls choir sing 90s cover songs of like Metallica. Sometimes I listen to them in Belgium, and they released an album in Spanish, and it is beautiful.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Jeff goes, listen to this song. I'm like, what
What is even happening right now?
You're writing newsletters, listening to this?
That's actually how I zone out. Like when my wife sees me stressed about a project, and I'm like doing stuff, she's like, why don't you go up there and listen to the Belgian girls?
What a weird sentence for your wife to formulate and direct at you. Oh, my goodness.
Jose, I'm going back to you now.
Well, yes. Okay. So, but I think there's a lot there that we could spend hours unpacking, I'm sure. But like, so you're saying that basically it's got to be more than just putting up signage that says La Iglesia está a la izquierda, right? Like it's, you can't just say that this is the direction.
Se habla español.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, which I mean is a good thing. It's a good step to try to meet people where they are with their language and be able to connect with them. I mean, that's an awesome and powerful thing. But so what are you seeing, or what maybe are you guys doing that does kind of get in there and address the differences in culture or the differences in approach to the faith?
Well, there's a lot of nuances there. So I'll try to tackle it like very concretely. No,
Sure.
we're trying what we want to do when working both with clients, let's say on the Juan Diego Co, and also with Juan Diego Network, mostly is aimed at millennials and Gen Z, which are the hardest, as everyone knows, like trying to reach them. And we do a lot of experiments in Juan Diego Network, and we fail a lot. And we love failing because that's how we realize what works and what doesn't work, and which things work of several of the shows or of different parts and stuff. And we measure everything, and we adjust, etc., etc. So getting to let's say attracting young Latinos right now, it's very challenging because a lot of different aspects, right? One thing, yes, history, like their what they have, like their roots, traditions, their, let's say, family and culture and stuff.
Sure.
It's still very important, and even now, a lot more than before, because younger generations of Latinos are prouder of being Latino, specifically Mexican or Colombian or whatever they are, before they tried to assimilate. So now there's like a coming back of, so that's very good, right?
Cool.
And as part of the culture of Latinos, like the vast majority of Latinos are baptized Catholic, right? It's always there. You scratch the surface of it, so it's always there. Of course, the thing is, they have an idea of what the church is. They have an idea of who Christ is. They don't know him personally. They have heard about the church, or they remember going to Spanish Mass, or they still go to Spanish Mass, because if you go to any, here in Dallas, right, go to any Mass in Spanish, they're full of families and even kids with, like kids, let's say high school or college, like they go with their parents.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't see that much in like English Masses, right?
Sure.
So that's the thing. The thing is, it's my abuelita's religion, or it's my religion, right?
Right.
So that's why, like the Juan Diego, the podcaster, the different things that we try to do, it's like, no, you can also have, like, you can really get to know Christ.
Yeah,
so let me introduce you to Christ, to you, not your abuelita's religion, right?
Right. So not just my grandmother's religion.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't.
No, yeah,
I didn't translate.
Oh, we got it.
No, yeah,
we got it.
just making sure
Paul,
for the
Paul
audience.
used his grandmother's ring to propose in his wife's grandmother's car. So
Yeah,
there
there
was
was a
a
lot
whole
of family.
grandmother thread
Yeah.
in our previous guest last week.
That's right.
He totally gets abuelitas.
Okay.
You nailed it, Jeff. Bien hecho.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I am willing to be vulnerable here as I'm learning on air. So, hey, how did this become your career? Like, what is the pathway that you go from kid Jose to Juan Diego Network, Juan Diego the podcaster, the guy who has more podcasts than we have episodes. I mean, podcast brands.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2003, I was in high school. I was finishing high school, and during high school, I had lots of doubts about the faith. Lots of doubts. I was reading Nietzsche. I was reading that sort of stuff.
Sure.
My parents had started, before I was born, a covenant community in Monterrey, Mexico. I'm the oldest of 6. So I was always like in a lot of like church stuff, no? But high school, I had doubts, and I asked my youth leaders. I asked everyone I knew of, and was like, have faith or pray that you feel the Lord, right? That like affected me so much.
Wow.
Like I didn't like that answer at all. And well, I tried to, of course, the internet 2001, 2002 was very different than right now, right? So trying to read stuff, trying to find out the answers to my questions, it was like this very old school, like Spanish from Spain, right? That was very formal, very distant, right? In everything related to like faith. So that didn't really talk to me. So I was invited to go to SPO, St. Paul's Outreach, a summer internship program.
Based out of Minnesota, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
St. Paul. Yeah. So the last day of my high school, my last high school exam, a Friday morning, we drove to Nuevo Laredo, the border, Mexico. Took a Greyhound bus
What?
to St. Paul. I had been on buses in Mexico. They're very decent. I didn't know what I was getting into. There wasn't even TV. And the first time...
That's like a 7-day bus ride across
yeah,
America.
it was like Sunday morning. We got there. The first time, and Americans don't understand this, but the first time that I was offered drugs was in a Greyhound station at night, like just waiting for the next bus to pick me up and stuff, right? The first time, and I was 18, right?
Wow.
Not in Mexico, right? It was
Wow,
here in
yeah.
a Greyhound station.
Yeah.
So well, that summer, 2 months, was very important because that's where I realized that I could ask questions. I could like be engaged with and not just dismissed and like have faith and stuff, or you're gonna feel God, which I know a lot of people do in a lot of ways, and well, Latinos tend to be more like that, charismatic and stuff, and my whole environment around me was a lot more like that, and I just struggled with that a lot. So there, I could engage. I saw that there were really cool stuff happening for English speakers, right? And well, at the end of that summer, before going back or starting college, I made a promise to God that I forgot for several years. Not forgot, but I didn't want to remember. That it was
he
like
remembered.
I was gonna be doing stuff for
Yeah.
young Mexicans, Latinos, to try to attract them to Christ, to talk like in their own language, right? And well, long story short, financial lawyer, led the family offices of a Boston family in Mexico, the investments, etc. Started a brewery, craft brewery, started selling all over Mexico at Walmart, H-E-B's, Sorianas, etc. Bar, like 11 bars and restaurants, and this thing was still there, right? Like I had said something, and I never left. Yeah, Sunday mass and stuff, but I wasn't part of anything. And I was already married, and I was going every weekend or like to sell beer to beer festivals and beer tastings, and at night and on the weekdays to the restaurants and the bars, which was fun, right? But it wasn't fun at the end of the day, right? And my daughter, who's now 9 years old, was born, and I was like, what am I doing? No? And well, it took a while. I identify a lot with Jonah. I was just going like the other. I didn't want to listen, right? So I started on Winding very imprudently. Now I realize in hindsight. Started like just closing shop, everything. And when I was living in Mexico City, 2012, opened an office there. I discovered podcasts. And of course, well, not Catholic podcasts yet, but then later Catholic podcasts. And I saw that there were cool podcasts in English, but I didn't see anything in Spanish. And the Catholic podcasts in Spanish were like a badly recorded like sermon of a priest in church, right? And that was a podcast. And I don't think that's a podcast, right? Because people who want to listen to a homily go to mass, right? So started with a podcast, started doing very well every week, like being in the top charts all over Latin America, Spain, etc. And then I was like, okay, so this is it. Let's do podcasts, and that's how I'll do what I was called to do, or what I made my promise, right? And then that time, started several podcasts. Then 2019 started the first process with the first OSV Innovation Challenge, which was really great. Helped me a lot. At the end, we won that, so that helped me a lot, like change my mindset in a lot of different ways, and get to know a lot of people. Because my background, like in Latin America, I think not only Latin America, everywhere in the world except the US and Germany and maybe another example. Catholic, like whenever you do something, it's like a weekend thing or a night thing. It's an apostolate, right? It's not something you, like your day job. So I realized that could be a day job of sorts. And that's why I closed everything, sold some stuff, closed everything, and started doing podcasts. And in the Excel, it looked great, right? Like it was gonna be a good business, etc., etc. Now the Juan Diego Network, as I told you, I think I don't remember if we were already recording.
This is during our Buffalo Wild Wings.
It was. It's an apostolate, and we're like, I always want to continue like that, because that's where we experiment what works and what doesn't work. And
you don't have this weird pressure
of
the financial considerations. You're just blessing people.
In that part, yeah. The other part, Juan Diego Co, that's where we need the clients. But we don't have till now. This year, apparently, things are going to start changing, but we don't have any funding or anything for the Juan Diego Network, which means we can fail and try new things, which is new evangelization, right?
Do you have a studio somewhere for your podcast?
All over.
Yeah. Do you ever sit this close to people in your studio?
Never, ever.
Well, this is us adopting a very familial closeness. You know, we're kind of, what's the word for it? I'm trying to think of the right word.
Acerca?
I thought you were about to punch me. Like, what is it if you're like, it's like a love language, but I want to say like touch is the love language.
No, yeah, because that sounds.
It's more like there's a brotherly
bromance
feelingness.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that word.
Well, good, because maybe this will be the episode that takes off to millions, and people are like, that dude's weird. So a couple really quick things too. Number one, you brought us some really cool swag. Can you describe what's on this that I'm about to share on the screen here for viewers on our cameras here? What is it? What am we looking at here?
Sure.
What is this guy?
Oh, it's unfocused, right?
I'll get it focused.
That's Juan Diego, the podcaster.
That's so cool.
So, of course, you know the story. I'm hoping everyone listening, Juan Diego.
You better.
And just like him, like almost 500 years ago, his yes, he didn't do anything else, right? His yes changed the evangelization in the Americas. Now we need Juan Diegos. And we only need to say yes, right? Like he did. And remember, we're talking earlier as well, even he had the best excuse not to walk in front of Our Lady on the second time, right? He avoided her, right? He went elsewhere, and he had the best excuse. His uncle was dying, right? He was dying, the uncle. So it was not like he just didn't want to do it. Yes, in the beginning he was very clear. He didn't feel worthy enough to go to the Spanish bishop. Remember Juan Diego, Aztec, ex-Aztec. Now what, like, conquered people. The conquest had just happened. He was conquered like the Spanish conquistadores, like the prince of the church. He didn't feel worthy to go there. And then he had the best excuse not to. But at the end, he said yes. And that was it. Our Lady, of course, through him and God through her, right? But everything changed in the Americas after that, and we need Juan Diegos right now who just say yes, even though we're not capable or feel not worthy, right?
So Juan Diego, the podcaster, till my listeners convert. Okay.
Listen,
It was
these are
worth
the-
a shot.
I was going to let him sit with it. I thought
No.
that was pretty good.
I was going to try, and then if it failed, I was going to learn and do something different next
I
time.
thought we might just go straight into commercial break. It was pretty good.
Okay.
No. Hey, well, geez, I love Juan Diego. Remind me what year he was canonized.
2002. We're gonna be this
In
June
20
is June. Yeah, we're just over 20 years. So I don't remember if it's
two
gonna
or
be
three.
21 or 22
Yeah.
this year.
Well, so it was very recent, and if people are listening to this don't really know the story of Our Lady of Guadalupe or Juan Diego, or what I really got to experience when I was down there, the fifth apparition of Mary appearing to his uncle.
Mhm.
Gosh, there's stuff. The layers of this never end. You can spend your entire life in this, and you would just be blessed beyond belief. But we're about to bless you beyond belief with a little game.
Okay.
The game is called Blessed Are the Joke Makers, for they shall inherit the points. This is going to be
Okay.
worth
No,
153.1
Okay.
for 1531.
Yeah. Thanks for not going in the thousands.
Yeah. I couldn't suffer that kind of I can't come back. I'm already way too far behind.
All right, yes, and the way this is going to work is we've got a card that it has a character on it, and we have to try to answer the Catholic card game prompt as this character. And then you just get to decide who you enjoyed the most. So it's completely up to you. You have to give all the points to one person.
Mm-hmm.
And, and there's no real criteria. It's
Those
just
are the
up to you.
rules.
Yeah. All right, so the character that we all have to try to take on is as the coolest hipster, I would like blank for Christmas.
Yeah, man. I know that you're still away at college, bro, but I really want you to come home and see the folks. You know, Madre would love to see you. Is she not your mother? Makes no sense.
Yeah, bro. I would just like for you to get me a mocha chocolate latte from Oregon, and if you could just ship it direct to me, but make sure it's on one of those flights that's got the low carbon footprint, because I want to make sure that only like 3,000 trees have to be used to make up for the amount of carbon that we're releasing. So, and I'm gonna make sure. Oh, get a pup cup because I'm gonna feed it to my dog, Brewster. He's gonna love it so much.
Brewster.
Que pasó? That's Hispanic for what's paso? What's going on? For Christmas, man, I would really love to get this new Spanish album. No, sorry, you probably haven't heard of them. You probably haven't heard. They have a podcast. I can't even. They're too new. They're too edgy. You've never even heard of them.
Way.
No way.
Yeah. What'd you think?
You have to pick someone.
Yeah.
It's just one, right?
Yeah. You can't leave the room either.
Someone has to win then.
Yeah.
Okay, so Paul, you're the winner.
yes.
Oh, the time.
Thank you.
Man, it's Hispanic was my favorite part of this.
This is gonna be great.
Nick, that's your hashtag t-shirt. Hey, for being our celebrity guest judge, Jose, you're getting a pair of socks from sockreligious.com. You're going to be getting the Easter Vigil socks. Do you have these yet?
No.
It's a pretty good time of year. And if all the BeatiDudes out there would just right now click on a website
Called sockreligious.com
/
/BeatiDudes.
you can get 10% off your own socks.
Yep. And remember, this is the night for these socks.
Wow, cool.
So good.
We'll be right back.
The team at Aquinas Wealth Advisors believes that good values and good returns are not mutually exclusive. Using a tech-smart and morally sound approach, they provide investment alternatives that align with Catholic teachings without sacrificing returns. These days, faith-driven investors are finding it hard to know where their money is going. They have no visibility into what their dollars are supporting, but there's a better way. Thanks to the Faith and Finance Score from Aquinas Wealth Advisors, you can look into your current holdings to see what you're supporting and make a switch to an advisor that aligns with your values and gives power to your voice. Check out AquinasWealth.com today.
Hi, it's Paul Kolker from the BeatiDudes here, and I just wanted to share with you guys that I also, outside of the show, perform improv comedy on a regular basis with a group called Divine Comedy. So what we do is we come up with everything on the spot, so whether you're looking for faith-filled, fun, family-friendly comedy for your youth night, or whether you're looking for clean comedy for your corporate event, Divine Comedy can perform for your group and even get you in on the action. So if you'd like to hire us to come out and perform for your next event, check out DivineComedyImprov.com. Divine Comedy, an inferno of fun.
Welcome back, everybody. We are with José Manuel De Urquidi. How about
Nailed
that?
it.
Urquidi.
Good.
Our Urquidi.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you.
Our newest best friend, who is a delegate to the Synod and Synodality in Rome. What?
We're saving that for the bonus.
Oh, we are? Did I miss that completely? All right.
Keep going.
Sorry about that.
That's a teaser.
A little tease for the Friday show.
So come back.
Come back to that one.
All right, let's go straight into this one. What would you call this?
Lobo.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lubba.
No. No.
We pulled out our wolf, everybody, and it's a lubba.
You can pronounce every other word flawlessly, but when it comes to wolf in any language,
Wolf. Lubba.
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 Gosh.
All right, you got a lot of podcasts. What is your favorite podcast, and is that also the most popular of your podcasts? We need to know both of these, and BeatiDudes can't be the answer on this one. your favorite podcast of your own.
Yeah, I was gonna
That way
ask.
Well, yeah, because you said
Take
that
the pressure off.
you make so many and you're testing different ideas
Yeah.
and all that. So even it can even be one that you say has failed, but like, what was that experience like, and why was it your favorite?
Oof, that's a very
He
tough
said
one.
wolf.
I think it was an oof. There was no W.
It's a tough one because, like right now, the one that I'm liking the most is one that we released just the day of Saint Juan Diego, which is December 9th, which we launched. It's a non-fiction, like scripted narrative podcast, Secretos del Tepeyac. So Tepeyac, do you know?
The hill.
Do you know Tepeyac?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, the hill where Our Lady. So that's with Monsignor Eduardo Chavez, who's the postulator of San Juan Diego, narrator, sound designs
Wait, real quick. Postulator,
of the case.
cause
He's cause.
cause for canonization
Yeah.
to become a saint.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
He's
so
like
our
that
audience-
world top expert.
He's also going to be a saint. If you just want to hear some early predictions from Jeff, I'll put money on it.
Okay.
It's good to bet on holy things.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but
I didn't know what to say to that.
yeah, right.
Okay.
We do that to our guests a lot. No, but sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just
Bet
wanted
on it.
everybody to know what that meant in case they hadn't caught that.
Yeah, it's a cool one because right now we're in the 9-year novena, so we've already the first year ended, so we're supposed to be preparing for the 500 years of her apparitions, right? So, as I was saying before, we want to leverage on her to evangelize, right? And the thing about Our Lady of Guadalupe, there's a lot of myths around her. A lot of myths. There's even people still in the church today, and it's not hearsay. Like, I know people who still think, don't believe, like, she's there in the tilma.
Yeah.
There's people in the church that Juan Diego didn't exist, right? And of course, outside of the church, Latin America, Mexico, historians and stuff, like historians, air quotes,
Yeah.
to whomever's listening,
Yeah.
just listening. So this was trying to like in a very in a very how do you say different way, be a bit more go into the different questions and tried to answer them, but with intrigue and stuff. So last year, at the end of last year, there was this Tonantzin. Tonantzin was an Aztec goddess documentary which has won several awards and stuff. And basically, the thing is, Our Lady of Guadalupe was invented, right, to like sort of control the Mexican people, right, et cetera, et cetera. And there's people from the church in that movie or documentary, right? So we started before. We took like over a year to create the podcast, but we are trying to dispel the myths in a cool way. So it's like 20-minute episodes.
Cool.
If everything goes right, this December, I forget that we're 2024. This December, we're going to be launching it in English as well. So hopefully.
I think that's incredible. I think everybody listening should support that effort too, because just like you keep saying, people in the church also seem to not believe a lot of stuff that the church teaches us, including the truth of the Eucharist.
Exactly.
So I think for people who have studied Our Lady of Guadalupe in any amount and then spent any time either praying for her intercession or actually visiting her, it's more real than this tiny table that we're hitting right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She stayed here.
Yeah.
Well, in Mexico City.
Well, the Americas, as I like to make sure that I'm part of that.
Now it's the Americas. Exactly.
She came for the Americas. We're in the middle of moving out of our current house. That's a whole crazy story for another episode. But the one thing we've left up is we have a picture of the Madonna in the veil, which is Our Lady with baby Jesus, but then an Our Lady of Guadalupe that we bought that touched the original. I mean, it wasn't, JP2 blessed or anything, but we want anybody who walks in our house to see it to be like, okay, this place is very special, or to run away.
All or nothing.
Yeah. Cool. It's really cool. Hey, so we do a question of the day on every Monday episode, and it's a question that all four of us get to answer. And so the question of the day today, it's a really easy layup. It's great for, just getting to know somebody at a dinner party.
Answer in the comments, just follow along.
But what we want you to do is just answer in the comments as if you're talking to your very best friend. What are you struggling with today? or recently? What is something you've been struggling with recently? I'll go first because mine's very apparent to me. I've always done a lot of stuff. And starting around this summertime, my kid was getting sick again, and then the other kid got sick. And then that was my 4th hospitalization of the year, and we were hiring people, and we're trying to launch different stuff, and all this stuff's happening. I got anxiety for the first time as an adult that I can recall, of like my chest felt tight, or if I laid down, my heartbeat was in my throat. And it still happens some right now, but it's been wild to watch. And there's things we've done at work to unlock some of it where, wow, I'm choking up, where we've like removed something and I'm like, oh, I feel this. Or we brought in a woman that I know well to help me with my medical bills. And I'm like, oh, this helps. And then my son twice has gotten into breathing issues, and we got him out of it without visiting Medical City, Dallas. And one of them, I left a men's conference to come home to come get him, to take him to the hospital. And I asked everybody there to pray. And, next thing I know, I woke up, it was the next morning. I was like, oh, I'm still at my house. This is cool. So it's coming off, but, man, it's wild that it's a physical manifestation of something that I'm not sad. It's just anxiety. It just exists.
Yeah.
So
it's real.
Yeah, it is real. How about you guys? What are you struggling with?
Yeah, I mean, hey, Jeff, I'm there with you like every day, right? Starting our businesses, and it's my first time as an entrepreneur, and I look to you and you look to me, and we're trying to figure it, build the airplane while we're flying it, right?
Yeah. What's wild about that, and I think that maybe this is the best business decision ever. I think podcast listeners would agree, but most people would say we're crazy. Most of our decisions are made by just what the Holy Spirit is telling us to do. I mean, like, literally, we'll be like, hey, this makes no sense, right? Yeah. You feel like we should do it still? Yeah, I mean, when we were praying about it, I felt really good. Okay, let's go do it. So, hey.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's been a
struggle.
Big, a year struggle, and continues.
Yeah. Paul?
Yeah, so quick disclaimer before I say what I'm going to say. It's not that I'm saying that I'm despairing, but I have been struggling with hopefulness towards a variety of things.
It's a good disclaimer.
Yeah, because it's not a total despair, and in fact, in some ways, it's actually deepened my prayer, or at least recently, it has started to. Like there was a period where it was more of a struggle, and again, still an ongoing fight that I have to really lean into or lean on the Lord in the process. But and I will say one of my resolutions on a previous episode. Talking about praying in the morning has been helping immensely. It is just incredible how God shows up for your day when you show up for God first thing. So anyway, the hopefulness part, though, is just there have been a whole variety of like what I feel like are just bait and switches in something looking like it's going to pan out career-wise, or my sort of side gig has always been acting and improv and stuff, and improv has been going well. That's something I'm grateful for and has been doing great. But the acting piece, it's like, man, I'll get close on something, and then like I got to be a featured extra, so that's a little bit better than just being in the background. But I was 5 feet away from Jennifer Lawrence in a scene, and and I had an interaction with one of the main characters before they sat down next to her, and so there was like this whole thing where I would have or should have, in theory, been featured, on the big screen for that, and all of those flashback scenes got cut from the film, and I saw something. They posted something about having to do 6 weeks worth of reshoots, and I was like, I'm probably getting cut from this, and and it's things like that where it's like this kind of near miss and feeling like you're honing in on it finally, and then it just doesn't happen, and so there's a lot of struggle with, okay, well, what is that, God, or like where are you in that? And again, that's very much a like a first world struggle in the sense that it's like, okay, I'm not starving, I'm not suffering health stuff, or I mean it's a whole different level, but it's like getting close.
Struggle.
It's getting close to what you desire, and then having the kind of feeling the rug pull and wondering what that's
something
about.
you said actually has been kind of coming up for me lately. That is like, I think I know where we're supposed to be going, and then this like constant reminder of like going back and saying, no, what is your plan for us? And so that's been just a recent kind of like, oh, we started this business because we felt called into it. We're doing these things because we feel called into it. Oh, we must be doing this next, right? And you forget to like double check yourself on. So that's just something that I've been going back to, is like, well, I need to make sure this is still like, just because we're here at this point in time, what is that next step on the path?
Yeah.
When it's hard not to have those plans, and I think it's interesting if anybody sees like Paul, if they see you on stage. You got to remember, this is a human being, that you have joy on stage because that's your job, like, and you bring joy. But
I try to intentionally do that.
And then you have like any one of us, like there's a humanity behind all this. They were editing some of my stuff the other day here at the company, some videos. And I said, I know you're about to critique everything I built. Don't forget the guys that look like they have a ton of confidence still need to be told when they do a good job. Like, please know I do need this.
Right.
'Cause it's scary.
Yeah.
All of it's scary. What about you, Jose?
I was thinking of the question. I've always struggled with something that I'm finally acting on it, which acting on it is a struggle in itself. Saying no is very difficult for me. And more like on this, like the evangelization formation side, which apparently is something Latino, like we love working for free and doing a lot of stuff for free. And I do a lot of stuff pro bono, a lot of stuff. And I need to start saying no. So I started the year by saying no in January to a thing that I really wanted to do, and to several other things, a big one. And well, at the end, yes, I found peace, but still my mind, like, I want to do everything. And there's so many good things that can be done, and my mind is always on day and night thinking how to better reach like people, not just Latinos, right? But people, and like be out there in the mission and attract them to Christ, to the sacraments, to the church. And it's very difficult for me. And it's basically the first year that I'm starting, like after starting, like founding this Juan Diego stuff, to say no.
Yeah.
So I've been tempted to cut back on that, and no, I'm trying not to. So it's a weird struggle.
I can't imagine that any man or other type of person listening to this, women, remember they listen to
Women
the
would be
show.
the other type of person.
That when they hear these struggles, don't identify with all of it. And, in different ways at different stages for all of us. A question for you, not to make light of the struggle, Jose, but is this an example of something that you wished you would have said no to? And you're just now realizing it? Or are we supposed to give you money for being here?
You got it, man.
Hint.
Guys, how much more do I have to say before you pay? No. Well, we're blessed to have you here. So we're going to wrap up the show differently than we do every other Monday show. It's called Reverse Simpsons, and it's just because we try to make podcasting difficult on ourselves. We have 90 different variations of our one show.
Okay.
I came up with some brain teasers for y'all. And my question, I'm going to let y'all take a quick podcast vote with each other. Do you want to answer these separately, and I give you one at a time, a brain teaser, or collectively, and see if y'all can get it? Maybe talk out loud, maybe work through it.
Maybe that.
Okay, that way nobody looks
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
that way nobody looks dumb alone.
Yeah, that's right. Let's
yeah.
put us to shame.
Collectively.
Yeah.
I'm actually writing a Christmas movie called Dumb Alone.
Weirdly, I was thinking that, and then you beat me to it.
It's just me at home.
Setting up traps for nobody.
For yourself in the middle of the night as a sleepwalker.
Somebody's in here. I just saw him in the mirror. Okay. I'm not gonna clear myself. I'm getting that Mickey Mouse voice. That's real. Okay,
Was that
gentlemen.
French?
Oh, Stromboli. Okay, so here we go. This is the brain teaser.
So ready. So ready.
I don't have my voice back yet. Here we go. Question number 1, gentlemen. A man pushes his car to a hotel and tells the owner he's bankrupt. Why? A man pushes his car to a hotel and tells the owner he's bankrupt. Why? I can edit out the part where we all thinking.
Well, I'm trying to
Huge
think
chunk.
out loud so
Do
that
that,
it's a
yeah.
little bit more interactive.
Yeah,
and
please go for it. Or I can make
pushes
noises.
his car to a hotel. So, I got it. He's playing Monopoly.
Nailed it.
That's
Ah.
it. Good job.
Just in time for me to click that rim shot button. All right,
So
good
I
job.
got all those points.
Oh, yeah.
It's a group effort.
Correct.
the whole-
and you contributed none.
Everybody at this table just got a point. Congratulations, Jose, on your first point. Okay, me too, by the way, Christopher. Number 2. How far can a deer run into the woods? How far can a deer run into the woods? Here's what I see. Deer in the headlights.
What
I'm
thinking,
reading your
John
brain right
Deere.
now.
Gobbledygook. Yes, that's right. How far can a deer?
How far can a deer run into the woods?
I want to say something silly like all the way, but that doesn't make sense.
Halfway, and then halfway back out.
Yeah, because it's
Nice.
into. You nailed it, brother.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow.
You can run. It's how far into is the key word in this one. Because when I
Yeah.
read it, I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, into. Because then after that, you're running out to.
Yeah.
That's not a word.
He knows that that's not a word. He's pretty fluent.
Oh, next brain teaser.
I think my brain just got teased when I hit the mic with it. Okay. Number 3 and final.
Okay.
Means the last one. So
All right,
number 3
Jose
is
Manuel, this is you.
what has a mouth but cannot speak, moves but has no legs, has a bank but no money.
A river.
That's right. It runs straight
Yeah.
through it. Congratulations,
Let's go.
BeatiDudes.
Yeah.
3 points for everybody. Jose, way to go on the brain teaser.
Yeah, never
You know what
even
I saw you do? Say no to participating.
I'm struggling.
No, you're good.
You're doing an amazing job.
Love the
He was
callback.
just trying to figure out what are the equivalent brain teasers in Hispanic.
Oh, yeah, he's-
exactly.
Hispanic. All right. Well, we will. You know what? We are going to bring you back for a bonus show where we're going to be talking about the synod and your layperson representation in a synod full of clergy and religious. And I can't wait to hear all the juicy details as you unveil them on the BeatiDudes. Stick around. All right. So we will see y'all in the Latin American launch of the BeatiDudes, and for the rest of you, we will
See you in the Eucharist.
Arrivederci!
Italian.
Close.
Adios. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to join us at our undersized table, subscribe to the video version of the show on YouTube by typing @, that's the symbol @, so shift and 2 on your keyboard, @the_BeatiDudes on YouTube. We'll see you there.
This podcast is part of the Spoke Street Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.